I mean, yeah, as you can see from title, this is a thing I've done before. But yeah, once again, once again, Hollywood, I am disappointed in you. Disappointed? Why? A moment. Disappointed in Hollywood, you say? Why? Maybe you're asking, in case you haven't seen me or haven't seen a video by me in a long time, a video like this. I mean, I've done videos like this before, but maybe you haven't seen them. Yeah. Why haven't you adapted these books? I mean, they are amazing, amazing. I mean, more or less every day or every other day, you hear of some books being adapted. Like, I would say like 80% or 70% of all the movies and TV series out there are based on books. And like this year, when you have the Lord of the Rings of Power, when you have uh, that dragon TV series from Game of Thrones. I mean, you can't say that you can't make this in this book because it's too expensive. I mean, no, that excuse is old-fashioned and not valid anymore. Not valid at all. So yeah, here are some books that I really, really think should be adapted. Like yesterday, or right now, right now. First, we have As Seen on TV by Meredith Shore. So this is a quite new book. It came out this year. I just read it, so it's new in two different ways. New to me, but also new to the world. This is one of few contemporaries on this list. On in this video. Not like one of the few contemporaries I feel like should be movies, but yeah, one of few I'm gonna include in this video. And it's kind of like a meta book about like Hallmark movies and stuff like that. But I think it's kind of fun if like Hallmark did a movie based on this book, or I suppose maybe even better Netflix because they have also started to like make Hallmark-ish movies like the same kind of types. So like if Netflix made it into a movie, I think that would be very fun. And yeah, again, it's a contemporary book. It's not a thriller. It's not with big costumes. So what you need money for is just kind of like the cast and the behind the scenes people and the the landscape. I suppose you could probably find some place to film cheap. So this should be a no-brainer. No-brainer. Then we have another contemporary, though one of the only ones on on this video. Oh yeah, it is Geek Girl by Holy Smale. So yeah, this one is contemporary, but it's set in a model world. So each book takes place in a different city because she goes to different cities and doing model jobs. First book she goes to Russia. Second book she goes to Japan. Third book she goes to the US. So I suppose yeah, you need some money for those kinds of stuff. But then again, I mean, when we live in a world with like lots and lots of fantasy shows. There's lots and lots of shows that are like expensive. I mean, that uh, that line about things being expensive, that doesn't work anymore. Does not work. This again, yeah, it's set in different places in the world, but it's not like other than that, it's not like expensive because it's set in modern day. It has people like it doesn't have like magic things and stuff. It's just like the setting that would be expensive, and that I suppose you could probably find that way to do that realistically for cheap. And yeah, it's just an amazing, amazing series, and amazing characters, amazing plot, and it needs to be adapted. Hollywood, Hollywood, can you hear me? I mean, Hollywood, like BBC, someone adapt this like now. And then we have a book that was rumored to be adapted 10 years ago. Has anything happened at all? No, not to my knowledge. So, like Hollywood, or like BBC, or like people filmmaking and TV series making. No, so this would I think work best as a movie. Well, maybe as a mini TV series. Anyway, like yeah, people get your act together. Invisibility by Andrea Kramer and Dale Leviathan. I mean, it's urban fantasy. Yeah, it's a fantasy, but it's urban fantasy. And it's a fantasy type where it's not like there's fantasy elements to it, but I would say the main elements is kind of like the urban fantasy of like the city, like it's set in New York and it uses New York like very much in the story. And like there's no, I suppose it could maybe in a way forget that it's fantasy because except the one aspect of Steven being invisible, the other things aren't that big like in every aspect of the book. But yeah, I mean, if you can make a TV series with like dragons and elves and stuff, you can make this. People, you can make this. But yeah, I also kind of just thought like maybe yeah, maybe make it into like mini series with like 5 episodes because then you could flash out some stuff. That would be fun. I suppose you could make it into a movie, but yeah, kind of fun to have it as a mini series. So yeah, and then we have a new book. So the first one was new, and this one came out this year as well. It is the very secret society of regular witches, another urban fantasy. It's set in the sea, so I'd say it's set in England. Uh, Set in a small town in England. Well, set mostly in small town, but it takes place a bit around England. It's with witches, yes, but it's not like I would say I don't really think you need that much money to like do things in here because it's not like the witches do like powerful spells and stuff. So yeah, I think this could easily be made. I mean, this needs to be made. Well, in a way, it feels a bit like a modern practical magic. In a way, it feels like so. Yeah, this could definitely like be a modern version of that. So people get your act together and make this. Then we have Payback's a Witch by Lena Harper. This again, urban fantasy. This is set in US, but still urban fantasy. I suppose there's a bit more magic in this one than in this one, but both of them are urban fantasy, so I mean, it shouldn't be that difficult to make it. Really, shouldn't be that expensive. At least not in my humble opinion. I mean, it's not like I know how much these things cost and stuff, but yeah, please. I mean, yeah, this is basically me daydreaming to the world by video form, but yeah. And then we have The Invisible Library by Genevieve Cogman. Now, granted, this one will be a bit more expensive because most of it takes place in kind of like historical times. It takes place in like alternative historical times. So it's not like it doesn't take place in like real life history. It takes place in places that could have happened but didn't, like things that could have happened but didn't. So it's kind of similar stuff to real life, but yeah, it didn't happen like that way. That way. So you need like costumes, and there's also like a big society of things, and there's also vampires, fays, so and dragons. So yeah, but again, I think if you did this well, you'd have an amazing hit. You'd have a big fandom. Just people would go over the moon for this one. Over the moon. Maybe you could say like, I don't know, it just seems like so cheesy and like just for females and just a woman. No, I was yeah, there's a love story in this one, but it's not really prevalent. It's not like a huge love story. So I think this could easily be made and both girls and boys, both girls and boys. Well, I suppose yeah. Like if you're a teen, I would say you can enjoy this because it's not a racy series really. Sometimes it's a bit like maybe scary, but it's not like the sex scenes and that kind of stuff that much. So yeah, definitely this needs to happen. And then we have yeah, a book that came out 10 years ago now, or maybe 20 years ago. Has anything happened? No. Has there been rumors? Yes. But has anything happened? No. Why? I, I, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it is The Guardians of Time series by Marion Curley. I mean, yes, this was time travel, so you need some money with that aspect, but it's also, yeah, it's time travel with magic. Like, the people who are involved in time travel also have magic abilities. So, yeah, I mean, you can't make it with $0, but still, I mean, if you can make Game of Thrones, if you can make Lord of the Rings, you can make this one. You can easily make it. And yeah, people, why haven't this been made? Why? And then we have last but not least, and this one actually is supposed to be made into a TV series. Also, a franchise of movies on Netflix. But have we heard anything new in a while? No, we haven't. So this is more like, please, please give us some news. Give us some news. It is The Manager by Meg Cabot. So yeah, this series we actually know is happening, but we haven't heard anything new in a long time. So I'm like, is it just gonna be in development hell for a long time, or is it like, can we like have a date? Is it coming next year? Is it coming 2 years? Can we have a cast? Something. I mean, Meg Cabot says sometimes on the vlog that things are happening. You just can say stuff, but we never get any real info. It's like, at least give us some real info. Like at least like something. Like tell us that you're finished with the first script, that you have started thinking about casting, that you have casted some side characters, something. Like maybe say that you plan to make this a priority that will come out on Netflix in 2024 or 2023, like the end of next year. I mean, something, please, 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 please. Yeah. So that's and yeah. So we don't kind of done before in different varieties, but kind of fun video series that I enjoy to do, like from time to time. And yeah, if you have any thoughts on any of these books, if you have any books that you feel like need to be adapted now, please tell me. And yeah, I hope you have a nice weekend. And bye.